So before we start, I just want to say I'm not one for politics, but did anybody else find it ironic that on the day that Britain got their independence back, Sutlow lost his? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm lucky, I'm the best man. And it's the first time I've been best man ever, so I had to do a little bit of research to try and work out, what kind of things you need to put into the speech, how long has it got to be. And I read somewhere that the best man speech is going to take less time than the groom takes in the bedroom.
So I'm done.
So on that note, if you could all raise a toast to Sutlow and Merrin.
Sutlow and Merrin!
Now, I've been told the best man speech is often one of the high points of the wedding reception, so with this in mind, I can honestly tell you that there's not a single dull moment in the next 10 minutes, no. I assure you the whole thing is completely dull. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lucky, and I'm usually a quiet guy, don't like to talk too much or drink too much. But as it's my best mate's wedding, I'm going to make an exception today. And I've been told I've got to try and keep the speech relatively clean. But I will be perched up at the bar later, and let's be honest, for a shot of Sambuca or Bacardi and Coke, I'll reveal anything. So you're probably wondering how I got the gig as best man, and so was I. But it was, we're all a very close group of friends. We all regard each other as our best mates, so we decided the only fair way to do it was to pull straws. I lost. Although being the best man, it is a privilege. It isn't really what it's cracked up to be honest. I mean, you're just as nervous as the groom throughout the whole proceedings, but at the end of the night, there's nobody going to be waiting for me and any posh knickers at the end of the night, is there? Unless any of the ladies disagree that I am staying here tonight. I've known Sutlow for the best part of 20 years. We met when we were 11, back in school. 20 years. Getting old now, right? Should probably think about settling down myself. Laurie, you still got a few months left of the wedding to call off, right? Interested? I'm still available, that's all I'm saying. No, that's a good point actually. Merrin's sister Laurie is also getting married later on this year. And I only bring it up because it is relevant. Because after all, let's be honest, Suts, you only finally bit the bullet because Rob proposed to Laurie and made you look bad, right?
Oh!
No, I do. There's another person I feel bad for. That is Mike, because that's Laurie and Merrin's father. We've already heard from him. Not only is he losing two beautiful daughters in the space of one summer, and let's be honest, the two questionable blokes, he's also got two weddings to pay for. So, Danny, we're going to walk around with a bit of a hat at the end and have a little whip round, see if we can help him out. Ease the burden a little bit. Got your back, Mike.
I'll tell you what, you'd have that now.
Now, back to our no sets then. So, we met when we were 11, back in school. He had bright blonde curtains. I still had a full set of hair. And, we met through our love of wrestling. Those were the days. We discovered beer, went on to university together, lived together, and we've been through pretty much every major life event together. And here we are. Well, I want to take you back to a story that happened back when we were in school, because after all, that is where he met the most amazing person that would ultimately change his life forever. I've already told you how me and Sutlow met, so I'm also going to tell you he met Merrin. It was one infamous night in the classy establishment that is Interaction nightclub in Gloucester. I've mentioned before that I'm not much of a drinker, so I happen to be designated driver this night. Sutlow had liked Merrin for some time. We're all part of the same group of friends, and but let's just say it was under slightly complicated circumstances. We'll leave it at that. He'd obviously had a beer or two on board this night because he decided this is the night he's going to make his move. She had obviously had way too much for drink because she fell for those late moves. So on the way home, I decided, being his best mate, I'm going to force the issue a little bit. And Sut's living in town, he would have been the obvious choice to take on first. But I missed that turn in, drove straight to Merrin's mum's, forced the issue, and he had no choice but to stay there. Karen, I promise you, it was just for like cuddles and talking about their feelings and whatnot. No, not many things I take seriously in life, but a wingman of my mates is definitely one of them. And I'll vouch to this day, if it wasn't for me, the story of Suts and Mez would just be that of a cheeky snog and interaction nightclub, not the beautiful love story that we're all witnessing today. You're welcome. I need that one back. No, in fairness, that is just another example of how Suts has always been the smartest out of all of our group. I mean, in that dingy little nightclub back when he was 18, drunken state that he was in, he still managed to make the best decision of his life. I mean, I was sober, I couldn't even remember where the car was parked. None of you'll know this, but I've actually already congratulated Suts. I said to him, well done, mate. You'll always look back on today as the happiest and best things you've ever done. Admittedly, that was on the last day of the stag do. I'll be in trouble with the boys if I didn't mention the stag. Not too much of it, as we all got families and girlfriends here today. We like to keep it out there. I had 2 instructions from Mez. That was to bring him back alive, and he was to have no marks on his face. I assure you, when I brought him back, he had no marks on his face. It started off alright, actually. We got to meet Sutlow's superhero character, Super Suts. We've got a little visual aid to help you out here. He looks pretty happy to be dressed up in that miniskirt. The best thing about that one was actually me being me hadn't checked us in, so when we finally checked in, we were the last people to do so. The only seat left in the place was in between 2 middle-aged people on his own, next to nowhere near the lads. Him clambering over in this miniskirt of his old woman trying to get to his seat. I was in tears. He might be smiling there, but I assure you, come to Monday morning, he was not smiling. He was in a bad way. We did alright in Marbella, to be fair. Although we did go out with 10 men, he only came back with 9, and we lost 2 phones and a wallet. I actually factored in a higher hit rate than that, so I'm counting as a success. And to be honest, the wallet was Bart's, and nobody's ever seen that wallet, so I doubt it even exists. if somebody did steal it, let's be honest, they probably died from dust inhalation by now. I want to give another little shout out, and that's to one of the other ushers, little Danny Weir. He's travelled all the way from Taiwan to be a part of the ceremony and be a part of the stag do, but that's not why I'm shouting him out, no. No, I'm shouting him out because he enabled me to see something that I've never ever witnessed before, and that's somebody being refused entry to a bar at 12 o'clock midday for being too drunk. Admittedly, in his own words and in his defence, he did go hard at breakfast. I've never seen somebody drink a whole bottle of rum at 7 AM while making eggs. In all seriousness though, it did go off without a hitch, and he's got absolutely nothing to feel guilty about. I mean, none of it was his idea, he didn't really have a choice. The rest of you boys should be guilty as hell though. Now, a big shout out to the stag boys. It was a cracking trip. We'll have a vodka cranberry later on and check out to Kunz a little bit later. Now, so at some point in this speech, I'm expected to say something profound and inspiring about marriage, but let's be honest, I'm not the best person to do that. Well, so I'm going to use an analogy of something I do know about, and that's football. Marriage should be like supporting a football team. Sometimes happy, sometimes sad, but always exciting for about an hour and a half on a Saturday. You'll be glad to know I'm getting to the end of the speech now. I tried to be a little bit more serious. While you may not agree with Sutlow's choice of best man, there can be absolutely no complaints about Merrin's choice of bridesmaids. They look and have been absolutely amazing throughout. And Suts, let's be honest, you've really hit the jackpot in Merrin Mez. You found someone who's attractive, funny, smart, loving and caring. And Mez, you found Suts. No, but seriously, I think you made a wonderful choice for your first husband. No, but genuinely, Sutlow's not been only one of my best mates for all these years, but he's been my advisor in good and bad times. My conscience when making those tough decisions, and he's by far the most stand-up bloke you could ever meet. So it's only fitting that he gets to settle down with this absolute beauty. I'm sure you'll all agree that Mez looks absolutely stunning this afternoon. And the best thing is, she's as lovely on the inside as she is on the outside. So it is my genuine pleasure to invite you to raise a glass with me to one of the best guys I know and his even better bride. I wish you a lifetime of happiness.
Adam
To
and
Sutlow
Merrin.
Merrin.
Sutlow and Merrin.
Be your up.